Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you are listening. Folks, thank you very, very much for listening. Today is the 25th of August, year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to yet another edition of the Coping Hour, hosted by Nicholas Hinkle, a.k.a. Motown Noah. What's up? Hope you guys had a good weekend. If you're watching today's episode, Nicky Chills is back on the menu. And wouldn't you know it, he just can't stop being cool. What's up, everybody? On a nice Monday morning, maybe the afternoon. I mean, hey, I say whatever time of day it is that you're listening. That we get to spend the next hour and change together. I gotta tell you, whoa, as the host of this program, I think we may be in the worst part of the calendar for like stuff going on. It's the worst part of the year, I think. Not a baseball segment, but I was, just to use this as baseball as my vehicle here, was watching the Tigers play the Royals for a couple innings earlier today. I turned the game on. It's 6-1, and Tom Selleck is in the booth. They're just talking to Tom Selleck. Oh, okay. Tigers rattle off a couple runs. Now it's 6-4. Oh, okay, it's a game. And then it was 7-6. They took the lead, and then it was like 10-7 Royals, and I turned the game off. I turned the game off as soon as it got good. Why did I do that? Well, guys, it's just that part of the year with baseball. It's August. Let's get to it, you know? Let's get there. Let's just get there. Because there's one more entire month of baseball that has nothing to do with anything. This part of the season for baseball stinks because it's like, I don't know, unless there's a guy chasing a Triple Crown, or I don't know if there's a fun, like Cal Raleigh officially last night broke the record for most homers hit by a catcher in a single season. Stuff like that is cool. Like, it's cool. You need this part of the season in order for, you know, these crazy records to get broken and whatever. Like, I guess playoff races, I guess like a wild card race, like, can be fun. Well, the Tigers play in the biggest goofball division in baseball right now. So, like, it stinks because it's not even, like, they're a really, really good team this year. Whether or not they win the World Series, the Tigers are a special team this year. The playoffs in the AL is going to be a dogfight. All right? So, regardless of what happens, they're actually a really good team. It just stinks that they play in such a bad division. And so it's like, whoa, yeah, oh, wow, you're up 12 and a half games, whatever it is. You know, a week to go until September. Ooh, wow, cool. Well, no, but it's like, even if the division was competitive, the Tigers would still be, the lead would maybe be marginally different, but I don't know. Okay, so I don't know why I get so upset. As I'm saying all that out loud, why does that bother you so much? That doesn't mean that they're not good. I know. I don't know. So, okay, I just don't have the juice for a Tigers game like that, even if it's good. Because it's fucking August, man. It's almost September. We just got to get there. Let's just get there. All right? We know what teams are going to be good. It's just a matter of who's going to throw the magic run together. Like this time last year, I guess, the Tigers were doing exactly that. And they were starting their march to the playoffs, where they would eventually win a series against the Astros and then lose to Cleveland in the divisional? So, okay, it's just not just baseball, though. It's just really not just baseball. Because not really anything else is on. Premier League is back. College football actually is back this weekend. Iowa State, Kansas State kicked off in Dublin. Avery Johnson, star quarterback for Kansas State, was fine last year. I thought he was fine to like pretty decent last year. A lot of hype around that kid. His dad and his brother got into an altercation after the game, like outside of the stadium, and it's on video. It's just a dad and his son like wrestling, but not like Harbaugh style, where like they're kidding, but they're being serious, but they're kidding. No, it was like actually like, whoa, this is like abuse. Like, what's going on here? This is real abuse. I don't know how to like describe this other than the star quarterback of a college football team, his dad and his brother were fighting after the game. It truly is like Little League Pop Warner shit. When you play, and this isn't just football, but like you play Little League sports, you've played on teams where like there are parents, you know what I mean? Where the chemistry of the parents, it's like a bomb. You're really throwing a bunch of, like, it's one thing to throw a bunch of kids onto like a rant they've never met before. You just put them all on a youth sports team, and the kids have to like, I don't know, it's like survival of the fittest in some like social hierarchy way. But, like, it's a good way for them to interact with other kids and to make friends and shit like that. It's really good for their social development. It's a completely different thing when you talk about throwing in all of the parents. You know, all these different random people. And we've all experienced it. If you've played youth sports before, there's just some firecrackers in those mixes. When I was growing up, that parent that I'm describing was actually somebody's grandma. It was somebody's grandmother, and that got awkward. When they would say something at a kid's game that was a little bit wild to be saying at a kid's game, and a parent would just, like, check this grandma and be like, hey, why don't you fucking chill out? This was also a cowbell grandma. Oh. My grandma, my grandparents love us, and they cheered for us at everything that they were ever able to go to. They didn't need a cowbell. It's just too much of a gimmick. My grandparents were plenty loud. They were plenty loud. The cowbell. It's fun for, like, a first down, maybe like not a first down. That's just too much. It's too much. What is it, Mississippi State? Any college team that does the cowbell thing. It just, I don't know. It's also because I grew up in a town where everybody, like, is like a hick town, but it's in the middle of Michigan. So it's like, how's this hick town? It's not really a farm town either. I guess once upon a time it definitely was. It's just not anymore. So you have a lot of these country kids that are, like, at the school. And, like, yeah, I don't know. I guess, like, that, I don't know. I don't know. It just wasn't that uncommon that there would be, whether, like, at any level, like, cowbells in the stands. Like, whenever Howell would play Brighton, whether it's football or basketball, Brighton was our rival. Brighton was like, they're all the fucking rich kids. They're the ones that got money, and we're all the fucking poor farmers, like Hicks. So whenever we would play, our student section would embrace that, and we would all dress in, like, fucking camo and, like, you know, we'd dress like trailer trash and shit like that. That was, like, the gimmick. I didn't beat that damn team. I mean, the first 6 years of me playing football, never beat them. Could never fucking get over the hump. They were just bigger than us. They were always bigger than us, and it fucking stunk. And then got to high school. I was the quarterback. We played them 26-0 on their fucking heads. Dog, I cried. I cried my eyes out. And that was the second time that we had played them that year, too. And the first time we got bullshit, it was the worst. Well, it was technically the best game I've ever played in my high school life. I'm not trying to go all Uncle Rico here, but, like, it's probably the best game I've ever played as a quarterback. But we got the shit kicked out of us, and so it literally didn't even matter. But I was like, fuck y'all, I got my stats, like, whatever. And my stats, quote-unquote, was like 56 yards on the ground and, like, a passing touchdown. But they were bigger than us. I don't know. Fuck, whatever. So the second time we played them at home, 26-0. Dog, I was crying coming off the field. And in retrospect, I feel so dumb for doing that. But I'm also like, you know what? No, fuck that. It mattered to me that I won a game in high school, that I beat a team that I always wanted to beat. Imagine you played for Michigan for 6 years and you didn't beat Ohio State until your last year as the quarterback. It was a big deal to me. Where was I going with all this? Well, actually, you talk about, I kind of want to stay on whatever. Fuck it, the ball's rolling. You talk about high school. You know, I was watching an episode of South Park recently. I forgot about it. The one where they have to read Catcher in the Rye. And then Butters is like, kill John Lennon. And then John Lennon's been dead for 40 years, Butters. Oh, man. Shit like that. Well, look, I'm sure most of you out there had to read Catcher in the Rye at some point throughout your education. And I remember reading it and being aware that, what's his name, John Hinckley? He read that shit and was like, I'm going to go kill John Lennon. Like, loosely, that's what happened. Well, I was thinking about that today, and I'm kind of like, it has been a while since there's been a Catcher in the Rye moment. Like, I don't know, I guess, well, I don't know. It's probably more that people are radicalized digitally. And so it's not so much about, like, an individual manifesto. Surely there's been a guy in recent years who did some shit because of Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Surely, because what was the little fucking diatribe or whatever the fuck that he not posted. He had a little manifesto. It's not Crimes of the Future. It's like a Viggo Mortensen movie. What's it called? My industrial. It's something. It is a little bit of a Mad Lib. Something about the industrial movements of the flux capacitor. It's something, man. It sounds like a Harry Potter novel. I swear to God. whatever his thing was called. I don't want to. I'm so close. I don't know if I'm in the red zone or if but I'm at least in positive territory here. I'm on the opponent's side of the field. My thoughts on I swear to God, the word industrial is in it. Should I look this up? Is it crimes of the future? Crimes of the industrial future? Unabomber manifesto. It's going to be like industrial society of something. Industrial society and its future. You know what, man? I was in the red zone. I really was. I had bits and pieces of it. And honestly, it does sound a bit like a Mad Lib if we go back to that. The Unabomber Manifesto, Industrial Society and its Future. It's not so much, I guess maybe it's not so much Harry Potter, but Mad Lib, yes. I'll give myself that. We haven't had anybody like do some crazy shit because of a book. What's going on there? Again, I think maybe it's just because it's sort of turned to podcast, maybe stuff like that. An audiobook, perhaps, but as in some way a podcast is an audiobook. But it's like a freestyle conversation. You're just doing an open mic with yourself style. I don't know. I saw Shohei Ohtani has a book coming out within the last few weeks that got announced. It's already been illustrated, and I guess it's just being printed right now as like it has to go through some final T's crossing and I's dotting situations. Oh, okay. Wow. Shohei Ohtani's, he wrote a children's book. That's really interesting. I bet that shit's in English. I bet it fucking is. I bet it is. I bet it's in English, Shohei. I bet when this got pitched, I bet the meeting was in English. I bet when you worked with illustrators, those conversations were in English. I swear to God, I bet they were. We know a little bit about what the plot's going to be. The plot to this Shohei Ohtani children's novel. Is it a series? Is this a franchise? It's about Shohei's dog, Decoy, who is a very famous little dog. It gives so much credit to Shohei and his wife. I don't know what her name is. I know she's also an athlete though too. Basketball, I think. Such a cute family that they're starting to build. Oh my goodness. I mean, Shohei's dog has been a pretty big part of his transition, specifically not just to baseball, but to the Dodgers specifically. I think Decoy is sort of a new addition anyways, a relatively new addition at least. And he's thrown out the first pitch at a Dodgers game before, and they give out bobbleheads and all this stuff. Decoy, very, very big deal in Los Angeles and to the greater baseball community. I guess the book has something to do with Decoy. I don't know. He's got to go to the big game, and then Shohei has locked himself in a room and hasn't been paying attention to what time it is because he's betting on like Iranian soccer at first pitch is at 7 p.m. and it's 6:15 and he's still in fucking Santa Barbara and it's whoops this cricket match in fucking Hong Kong, something like fourth league, bottom of the pyramid. Do they do pyramids in cricket? I don't know. Somebody. So what's the take? That somebody commits political violence because they read this Shohei Ohtani children's book? Perhaps. It might be. I don't know. Look, I don't know. This just ties it back to the first thing I was saying, which is like, I don't know. There's nothing going on, really. Actually, I don't think I said any of this out loud. I think I was thinking, did I say any of this out loud? Oh, there's just nothing going on. There's just nothing going on. It's the worst time of year. That's what I did say, is it's the worst time of year. There's nothing going on. There's no stories. Oh, you know how hard it is to cover all the biggest stories, to cover them from all angles. Look, it's not that we're short of stories, I guess. Which I got nothing. I got no angles. Everything's so linear. Every news story. Oh, Dick, did you see this year about this? Donald Trump thinking of deploying the National Guard in the city of Chicago, on the doorstep, on the heels of him doing it in D.C. and previously in Los Angeles. Whoa, yeah, I saw that. I saw people in Chicago 4 days ago be like, that's not real. That fucking, he's fear-mongering, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, really? Because he just did it twice, and he's only been the president for, 8 months? So, I don't know. I believe this, actually. I would believe this. And then, J.B. Pritzker. Well, nobody's made a request to deploy troops, and so we're going to try to not let that happen. But so far, nothing's been... He's like, I got nothing. He's like, I don't think it's going to happen. He's like, but could, but we're not going to let it happen. Okay. Now, J.B. Pritzker, to be fair, maybe the only billionaire the Dems love. Well, that the Dems, how do you say? Because that's not true. Like Beyonce, Dems fucking love Beyonce. Got paid $10 million to just go on stage and be like, vote for Kamala. Not going to sing a fucking song, by the way. I'm not going to sing for Kamala. But I'll stand on stage for $10 million for 5 minutes. Okay. Taylor Swift, obviously another billionaire. I mean, Dems love her. But as far as politicians go, is maybe the way to frame it. Yeah, people love J.B. Pritzker. Yeah, Illinoisans. What are we called? Illinoising? I'm not sure what we're called. I don't really think of myself as an Illinois resident. It's a terrible state. It's a horrible state. But Chicago just happens to be one of the finest cities, not just in America, but in the entire world. I'm a resident of Chicago, not so much of Illinois. I don't know. I don't fucking care. There's one angle on it. Don't let that shit happen. Don't let them come to Chicago. Don't let that happen. Don't let there be a military presence in this fucking town. Because let me tell you, man, I'm gonna snitch. I got my eyes in the fucking sky, bro. You think these military grade binoculars don't work? You think these are for show? You think these are fucking, this goes on my coffee table? I use these. For real. So don't let the National Guard come to Chicago. I know who lives in my neighborhood, and it is not people who look like me. I know who speaks English in this neighborhood, and more importantly, who does not speak English. And there's a lot of it. So I'm just saying, I'm going to start snitching if I'm seeing a bunch of unmarked cars around here. And then every Monday and every Friday, you'll get, I'm here. I be at home a lot, all day. So if this is the war that you want to wage, federal government, is putting your fucking former GameStop employees in my community? Hell no. Because people on the internet, I swear to God, hold me to this. People on the internet, Mondays and Fridays, will hear about it from me. And God forbid, I have to start doing, I'll go notepad troop movements. I'll do it. Now, beyond that, I don't know what I could be on the lookout for. They're taking this fool from getting in a van. And they're stuffing 6 kids into the back of the van. And I just write it down. And I'm like, well, I'll have to tell somebody about this, but it's only Wednesday. And I don't record the show for another 24 hours. So until then, I kind of just, well, that was 6 and that was 4 earlier. And wow, we're already up to 10. Today. There's nothing going on. Oh, Gavin Newsom. You seen this? You heard about this? This is such a spineless political apparatus. The modern day establishment left here is in America. That Gavin Newsom goes on like a week long, like kind of just being funny on the internet and like shit posting, or like at least his handlers, his people who control his fucking socials, at least they're being very funny and he's approving funny shit. But like, I don't know. I just feel like, wow, one guy finally was like put a hand on Trump's chest and like has tried to fuck with him a little bit. And that's all it's taken for people to be like, well, 2028, I guess that's going to be our guy. Okay. AOC getting like reverse groomed. They just want nothing to do with her anymore. Okay. Gavin Newsom, such a funny guy. We are in the same calendar year, by the way, that he was getting raked over the coals because people just didn't have anything else to talk about, but it was pretty wild for him to say this. This is a couple months ago. He was like on a podcast, and for those who don't know, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he was like on a podcast talking about like, yeah, my son likes Charlie Kirk, and so he's a good man or something like that. He just was like not immediately like, hey, kind of weird that Charlie Kirk's a Nazi. That wasn't what he said. He was just like, yeah, my son likes him, and so, all right, well, that's all right with me. It's all right with old Gavin Newsom. It's just a weird thing to say. Listen, I one day like to imagine that, well, I sort of dread the reality of this, but I also just sort of acknowledge it as something that is forthcoming. My son will sort of have the same curiosities of the internet that I have, but the difference is, like, he'll be an impressionable kid, and I sort of like to bathe in the levels of irony. And so, like, when I'm watching a Charlie Kirk clip, it's because I'm just like, haha, I can't, but, like, this is such a funny instance of a guy who has power and influence, and this is how he's using it, just, like, being racist. That's just funny to me. And, like, what's he saying? Like, this is funny to me. But I know that I am ideologically opposed to everything that he's saying. But when my son doesn't have that content, I don't know. This is sort of morphing into a completely different thing. I don't know. I say all that just to say, if my son was just, like, curiously listening to Charlie Kirk, you know, I don't know. Is that a rite of passage in some way to accidentally fall down the alt-right pipeline as a male in the 21st century? The rite of passage, no, that's not the right way to say it. But it do be happening to, like, good kids. To kids who would otherwise have, like, no problems with women. They come from, like, a good household and, like, good, like, dynamics and structure and all of this shit. And, like, they were, I don't know, their parents are always good at identifying what they need and shit like that. I don't know. Like, no parents are perfect, but I don't know. It's just, what the fuck ever. What the fuck ever. There's nothing going on. Everything's so black and white. What's another news story? If that's how we're spending the episode, I suppose. It's shit that's going on in the world that's, like, halfway going on. Not really. I don't know. Not really going on. Matter of fact, copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. There's, like, so much nothing going on. We've spent the last 2 weeks reading emails from, what's his name? Bathroom Tom, a.k.a. Wizards fan Tom, a.k.a. Hot Tom. He's been in France. It's been a fun little... this is a trilogy now. At this point, it's been a fun saga to follow. We've heard from Victoria, his French girlfriend. He was hanging out at Napoleon's, like, bath house or something. It's been cool. But we're all just sort of living vicariously through a guy that we don't know. And this, like, super cool romantic European vacay that he's been on. Well, we got a follow-up. There's nothing going on, so we might as... Right? I mean, also it's Tom, and we like to read his emails. Tom, welcome back to the show. Subject line, France finale. I love it. Future wifey material? Sounds like a big email, Tom. Hey, Nick. Just spent my last day with Victoria earlier this week. We won't be seeing each other until about Christmas. And it fucking sucks. I'm back in the United States today, and as a love note to her, her country, and Europe, I will offer some of my most positive takes on France, and to some extent, Europe as a whole. Wow, okay. All right, Tom, saving the episode, maybe we're going to say a bunch of nice things about Europe. We'll see if I can push back on any of them. Just for the sake of it. Just for the sake of it. I'm Michael Porter Jr. right now. I just want to play devil's advocate. That's it. I just want to have a conversation with somebody. And the only way that I know how to do that is by listening to a fucking fascist. And then just seeing what that does to a girl's brain. And being like, so how does that make you feel? Bro, you're there for... You know what I mean? Like, you know why you're there. And you want to engage with her? Like, in the... Whatever. That's what I'm doing right now, by the way. Only I'm not trying to have sex with anybody. I'm just trying to read Tom's email. Okay? So let's do it. First, the food in France is so much fucking better than the United States. I'm not really a vegetable guy or much of a person for trying new things, but every single place and meal that I had was amazing over there. Admittedly, I did go to some of the best restaurants I could find and that Victoria knew. My one comment to add on to this is that I have this thing where I will always go to McDonald's in another country to try their version of it and then get the regional food items there. I keep a baseline of McNuggets and fries, but will usually go all out and try random things as well. By far, France is the best McDonald's I've had. Rome was exceptional as well, but the French McDonald's feels like an upscale version of a good American McDonald's. I will also add that I went to Burger King in Corsica. You went to Corsica? I think that's at Benedict, I was going to say Benedict Matherin. Napoleon's bathhouse. I think that's what that is today. In 2025, Napoleon's bathhouse is now a Burger King. I think was what Tom was trying to say there. And then he also included, and it blew my mind as a McDonald's stand. As a fun note, there are no McDonald's on the island of Corsica. Corsica. Because they burned the first one they ever had down for political reasons. They want to be like Monaco, but France will not give them this, and they committed acts of terrorism to pay them back. Interesting read if you care about niche governmental revolts. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. So you're telling me so how does that work? I want Chicago to become the new London of the world. We're London now. Okay. And then what? Local city councilors are like, well, we looked into this and we just do not have the city infrastructure or the budget to do this, to make Chicago the new London. We've tried to crunch the numbers and we will not make it happen. So then if I bombed out a shopping mall, then they would have to do it? I'll have to read about this. They got upset because they weren't recognized. So what does that mean? That they didn't they weren't allowed to like build hotels and I don't know. You get like infrastructure packages and fucking you build a bunch of not schools but restaurants. Yeah, restaurants and bars and local. Fuck, I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am I doing this to your email, dude? Let's get back to it. Second, France as a whole outside of Paris is beautiful and does not have the same 7-Eleven, McDonald's, gas station, small town America culture. And it was so refreshing. I feel like all the small town American spots I've been to look the same off the highway. And then you travel a mile off of that. And it is sparse housing. Not in France. Minimal billboards, a focus on small business. And the charm of Europe is abundant in France. And it has me wishing for the sight of it all every single fucking day. As another note, in Corsica, there are sick mountains accompanied by these small beaches with super clear water and small waves that make you want to relax by the water for the entire day. It was the second most beautiful thing about my trip. Oh, don't fucking say it, Tom. And then it was the second most beautiful thing about my trip, with the first, of course, being my beautiful girlfriend. Yeah, okay, Tom. Okay. She's not listening to this, Tom. Well, that's actually, I in fractions of seconds, that just felt like a long pause, actually. So you watched me make I say in fractions of seconds. I just paused for like 2 flat seconds to make the decision of, am I going to keep this joke and be like, oh, the old ball and chain, or am I just going to be like, you know what? He said this is his love letter, and that was nice, Tom. That was nice. And then I kind of just didn't make a decision. Okay, fourth. Oh, that was not... Okay, sorry. Third, the people of France have really outdone themselves in terms of politeness in my case. I speak a small amount of French, and it sounds terrible to most French people, but they were very kind in talking with me in English most of the time that I was there. Even when I was absolutely hammered at a bar, they made an effort to talk to me in English and were exceedingly kind. Everyone I met was polite and kept to themselves. Save for some wonderful people who gave me unforgettable moments. Fourth, as a small thing, most of the alcohol in France is less strong in France. Okay, I hear what's going on. I'm sorry. Tom, when you're trying to say same, I think it's getting corrected to save. So I'm getting tripped up because you're saying same, and then but you typed save, and I just I'm losing myself because I'm getting in my head reading this email. Tom, Because I guess I thought I was going to have more commentary, and I kind of don't. It's just kind of like, oh, he just went on a really nice trip. That's kind of just all that it sounds like. I'm not trying to, that doesn't sound rude, and like I'm not going to, I'll finish it. I'm just saying, I guess I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm really just reading this. Maybe there's a take at the end. Or something fucking crazy that happened. Because like, wow, look at Tom over here. Look at hot Tom over here. He went to Europe, went to a bar, felt comfortable enough to get hammered, like way too hammered in a different country. He felt safe to do that. And then the people who were there, the locals, like took great care of him. Wow, Tom. Such an awesomely relatable story. That cool shit got to happen to Tom. And like pretty much everything, he's in love. He's never been. The subject line said wifey material. Maybe there's something in here about maybe that's where we're heading with this too. Guy just had the fucking vacation of a lifetime, but now has to be separated from his soon to be betrothed for the next 4 months. Brutal, Tom. Brutal. But you guys hopefully soaked up, 2 weeks of why don't I finish your email before I eulogize. Maybe there's something juicy waiting at the end here. I have no idea. You were saying alcohol is a lot less stronger. Same for vodka, which still fucks me up at the same rate. This means I can have 12 beers and still function. That's fucking awesome. I look like the American tank. And I get to enjoy the taste of beers and alcohol after drinking my ass off. This is extremely underrated. As a final note, I just wanted to say that I loved my time. I loved the people. And I loved that I was able to spend my time there with the love of my life. I hope you will come one day and we can split a bottle of wine. Well, that's very nice of you, Tom. Yeah, probably. That'd be cool. I'm sad we didn't end up getting to hear any updates from Victoria. We kind of ended on a cliffhanger there. Maybe for those who missed Tom's girlfriend, we just talked a little bit about Macron. Talked about culture. She was like, yeah, Americans have the best culture and the best art and the best cheese and the best wine. It's funny that Tom mentioned wine. And everything. Better America greater than France. That was what she said. Those were all her words. And I don't know, Tom. I'm really grasping at straws here. Brother, it just kind of sounds like you had an awesome time, and I'm happy for you. And talking about me going on vacation, dude, taking a kid on a plane just gives both of us so much anxiety. No, just probably, we really want to go to New York. There's a whole thing where if things at Maddie's current job like keep going really well, that we may have to like live in Texas, which is so far down the road that I don't, the details are very fuzzy, but we would have to. No, I'm doing all this trad wife shit. I'm a trad dad. I don't think I need to do all that shit and live in a Texas house. You know what I mean? And not have to worry about like state income tax. I'm not the one paying the fucking. I'm not the one bringing home the bacon. I'm the one cooking the bacon. You know what I mean? But yeah, there is something about living in with the amount of money that we had to spend to live here where we do, that same money, it's really damned if you do, damned if you don't. You look up one fucking thing on Zillow, one thing. One. And for the next year and a half, you will get email alerts about that one thing. Because of what I'm about to say. Over a year and a half ago, dude, I was like, oh, okay, so down payment and mortgage and all this shit that we're to live where we live now. I was like, I wonder what that gets us in Texas. Dog, that would have been maybe February of 2024 that I looked that up. Just yesterday. Oh, based on your recent searches, that was 2 presidents ago. Well, it was 1 president ago. What are you talking about? And by the way, gets you some cool shit. There are some cool properties in Texas. But no, I don't want to be living in some big fancy house, cooking dinner and raising a kid. Well, yeah, I think we have a good sized place where we live now. It keeps me humble. Keeps me rooted because I love it here and I don't ever want to move because we're the type of people that Dude, we've been together for, this will be 11 years. We've probably moved like 11 times. And we would never stay at the same place for more than a year, except at the very end we did. Like during COVID, we re-upped. And then at our last place, we also stayed for 2 years. So like since we came to Chicago, we've been better at it, but still moved like 3 or 4 times since we've been here. And I'm officially done. I'm retired from helping people move, period. I'm never doing it again. I don't have that many people in my life. I really don't. It's not a bit where I'm like, oh, I don't have any friends. I'm so quirky and I love to be. No, I don't have that many people in my life, period. And the fact that I'm still somehow the only motherfucker that people be asking to help them move, retired. I'm not doing it anymore. I helped my brother move to Chicago. Like when he got here, I was the one who helped him move into his first place a 2 years ago. When we were done, I was like, I hope you enjoyed that experience because I'm literally never helping you again. And having a kid and being the primary caretaker, yeah, gets me out of some shit. Now, the truth is, it doesn't get me out of that much shit because, again, I don't be getting asked to do that much shit. But if it, like my brother, since we had Roman, has moved places. I know I would have been asked. I would have been. But what was I going to do? Nothing. Not help. That's what I was going to do. Not help. That's not my job. Like, what's her name from Drake and Josh? That is not my job. Helen? I believe it was Helen. That is not my job. copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically, email available in the description, wherever it is that you listen to this program. What do you guys want to do? Some gossip? Some good old-fashioned gossip? It's really this is what the show is for. This is what we need more of, honestly. This is field reporting from Akiva. Akiva, welcome back to the show, brother. Subject line, NBA pregnancy. Wah, wah, wah. Nick, I have an interesting story for you. I was at a crosswalk in my lovely New York City, and I overheard 2 women talking. I'll call them A and B. A, Sarah said she thinks she's pregnant. B, who's the dad? A, some NBA player. He just signed a $228 million contract. And then he says some cars went by, and so he missed a little bit. B, something to the effect of, how did this happen? A, she's just in the scene. And then back to the email. I did some research, and De'Aaron Fox signed for that money. No one else. The thing is, he has a wife and daughter. So did I discover a huge cheating incident? Or did she not say the right contract value and it's perhaps a different player? If it's a different player, who do you think is getting girls pregnant these days? Is Anthony Edwards back in the game? I really hope De'Aaron isn't cheating. From Akiva. Well, yes, it would be Anthony Edwards. It would be him. You hope De'Aaron Fox isn't cheating on his wife? Yeah, I hope. Hey, Nick, I don't know. I heard this NBA player may have gotten a woman pregnant, but that wouldn't make any sense because how did he do that when he has a wife and a kid? He's in the NBA. He's secured financially for life. He's with a support system of people. You imagine they've been around him his entire life. How would he cheat on? How would he get somebody pregnant if he has a wife and a kid? How does that happen? I don't know, Akiva. You didn't say any of that, by the way. I made that sound like it was at your expense. I can't say I hope it didn't sound like it did sound like that. This is not what I was trying to do. I do think it's funny to say, I hope it's not true. I guess, yeah. I guess. Would it be funny? No. No, bro, it wouldn't be funny. Could this be Zion? Could be. I was going to say, this has his fingerprints all over it. We would know very quickly if something had Zion Williamson's fingerprints all over it. I imagine it would be mostly it would be like encased in like a honey bun sugar and hot Cheeto crumbs. Sort of like a Blue's Clue style situation. You know what I mean? Almost like a radioactive. You get it? You get it? Could it be something like that? It could. I hope he's not doing it. I don't know. It wouldn't be funny if he was. If it was. I love this conversation, by the way. I actually believe that this happened. I don't think it's that... it's a crazy thing to be the person who got to overhear this conversation. But, yeah, I don't know. Quote-unquote, in the scene. Yes. My pulse, my read on this situation, completely believable, honestly. Completely believable. People be having access to these guys. They land in cities, and then they just check their explore page for women who are around, and then they start just shooting their shots and DMs just like that. Yeah. Yep. That's how it happens. Very, very funny. But the conversation is so funny to me that of course she looked up the contract, $220 million. I did not do any of my own investigation here, by the way. So I'm just kind of going off what Akiva said here, but I think it's good finding. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Or maybe it's not. Again, De'Aaron Fox has a wife and a kid, so I don't know why he would be accused of giving another woman pregnant when he has a wife and a kid. I don't otherwise know how he would be able to do that. Is there any other player that could be that it would be funny if it was them? If I woke up tomorrow and I saw the headline, NBA player, insert NBA player here, gets woman pregnant, who would that player have to be for me to be devastated that I have to wait until Thursday to do a segment about it? The only one of consequence would be LeBron. If LeBron had a child, wouldn't be out of wedlock because he is... that's another one. I guess LeBron can't do that because he's married and has kids. So he can't get another... And he's in the NBA, and that doesn't happen in the NBA. Never balls again. Never bust again. That's what they... Once you get into the NBA, you got to get married, and then you're... I mean, this is as evidenced by... Remember Carmelo, 2 weeks ago? Was talking about how he and his teammates would just, go to Magic City and pop wood with the boys, but, wouldn't let chicks in the room? He was like, that's just where we went to blow off steam. That's what motherfuckers don't know about us. It's we're from New York. We're from Brooklyn. We from the Bronx. And we go to Magic City and we tell the chicks, we don't need to come in here. This is just for us and the fellas. We just need to blow off some steam. What the fuck? What the fuck? If I told my girlfriend, first of all, if I told her I was going to a strip club, I don't even, she wouldn't, why would you, what the fuck, you don't care about that shit at all. No, I don't. Nope. She would assume that somebody took my phone. It's such an unbelievable lie for me to say. I'm never going to a strip club. But let's say that I for sure was. I'm part of a bachelor party and I have to go to a strip club. Oh, I have to go to a strip club. No, but okay, so I have to do that. If I imagine telling, this is how I should have just fucking done. I should have just said it this way. Imagine telling your fucking significant other, hey, babe, we're going to the strip club. And I know this is going to sound crazy. We're actually doing it just to have a male bonding experience. We're just going to get a VIP just for us. What the fuck are you talking about, Carmelo Anthony? That's insane. Talk about the wings, talk about the food. It was just a nice place to, listen to music. You guys are millionaires. Nobody has a garage. You have to go to the strip club for this? It probably smells fucking crazy in there. What, do you want to pass around a fucking hookah? You're 35-year-old man. What are you doing? Just because you got, hey, dudes, we're from Brooklyn. Fucking crazy. Crazy, nasty shit. I don't know, brother. Let's do a different, I don't know. Is there one more player? So it would be funny if it was Carmelo, too, because that's another guy. Carmelo Anthony's so loyal that when he goes to the strip club, he doesn't even want women to be around. He just wants to be around his boys. So, who's another player that they got... I don't want to say this person pregnant. That's because then it starts to be, unless it was Mariah Mills, then it would be funny. But there's no way there's no way, right? She could. I don't think she could. Surely there's a, whatever, bro. Let's do one more. Let's sing no. I'm ahead. I am taking my chips. I'm leaving the casino. And I'm going to do another email. copinghoursubs@gmail.com, spelled phonetically. Email available in the description. wherever it is that you listen to this program, I mean, there's just some, I'm sorry, I'm like looking at all these. I guess we'll do this one from Landon, because I don't really remember what this one says. Landon, welcome back to the show. Subject line, low stakes Cracker Barrel conspiracy. Fuck. Did I just walk into an email about them changing their logo? There better be some shit in here, brother. Come on. Come on. Let's make this a good email. Landon says, for some reason, half of my social media feed right now is about Cracker Barrel changing their logo and modernizing their interior and menu. I'm almost done with a cross-country road trip from West Michigan to Phoenix, Arizona, and I've passed a lot of Cracker Barrels. Not a single one is different from what Cracker Barrel has always been, but the internet is up in arms about the change. My theory is that Cracker Barrel never actually planned to change anything. They just announced this change to get their names in headlines because I haven't thought about eating there in years, but now I kind of want to go back. I had to tell someone this theory, so I figured it would be what I email into the show. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so... Because you almost had me. You really almost got me. You did. Because it's just, I don't know. What was it, 2015? When IHOP for like a week was like, oh yeah, we're IHOB now. You're scrolling on Twitter. What's this IHOB bullshit? What is this? International House of Burgers. Or breakfast. It was International House of Breakfast, I think is what it was. Or was it burgers? The point of the change was that they wanted to be known for more than just pancakes and like just breakfast. They wanted people to know, like, we're making gourmet hamburgers in here, bro. And so they like pretended to change. And we were in Arkansas at the time. We were at a wedding. And there was at the hotel we were staying at in Searcy, Arkansas, right off of the campus of Harding University. There was a Walmart, and then there was like a complex with like a GameStop and a fucking IHOP. And every day we would check to see, they had just made the announcement. Every day we would check to see, are they going to change it to IHOB? IHOB. What's this IHOB bullshit? It's still IHOP. They wouldn't change it. By the time we got home a couple of days later, they were like, oh yeah, by the way, gotcha. What the fuck? So did they just do like a, I don't know, like a public... What's the word that I'm looking for? What's the term that I'm looking for? Like a focus group? Did we just get like focus grouped out loud? Is that what that was? And then once everybody thought it was the dumbest thing they'd ever seen in their lives, they're like, and that's why we were just kidding, and that's why we're not actually IHOB. That's not actually us. That's not what's happening here, by the way. I don't think that's what's happening here. Maybe it is. Who fucking knows? I don't know. I was getting angry earlier about, well, there's a lot of stories. There's plenty of stories. There's not a lot of angles these days. Not a lot of angles. These angles don't just fucking grow on trees. Like I really gotta think. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's one here. I don't know. That haven't changed at other locations because like this isn't something that it's not a digital rebrand. I mean, it is, but it's also a very physical one. And a lot of these Cracker Barrels, I'm sure, are kind of in the middle of fucking nowhere. And so maybe the ones that have like higher foot traffic, like I don't know where the original is or like which locations in America have the highest foot traffic for fucking Cracker Barrel. I would imagine maybe if there's like a flagship Cracker Barrel, they've probably changed it there. I don't know. Something they've... Because what would the conspiracy be? Unless this is like a fake story just for the sake of like making a story. And if you want this to be one of those instances where it's like, oh, so this is only a story to cover up the fact that this is a story, that this other thing is a story, and they want you nice and distracted. But in this instance, they want you distracted by the logo of a restaurant changing. I saw one tweet about it where it was like, well, they removed the cracker and the barrel. So what the fuck is despite the fact that it still says Cracker Barrel, they just removed the cracker and the barrel. I've only ever had it once in my life. It's one of those places that I don't eat at because my grandma has always told me I wasn't allowed to. There were a few places growing up that my grandma would always say, you're not allowed to eat there. We don't eat there, Nicholas. Nicholas Todd, we do not eat at that place. We don't eat there. I'd always say, okay. Because I knew why. Cracker Barrel, growing up, no, they don't like gay people. They don't like gay people. My grandma says, if you don't like gay people, then you don't get my money. No. So, okay, Grandma. No Cracker Barrel. And then Chick-fil-A. Now, for the longest time growing up, we didn't have Chick-fil-A in Michigan. So it wasn't until I was like 16 straight up, like somewhere, like I don't know, that I finally had Chick-fil-A. And at that point, I was just so excited that I didn't give a shit that my grandma didn't want me to eat it. I was just excited that I finally got to eat it. But then eventually, after I had it a few times and I got the point, I was like, okay, now I have to go back to not eating this. Because my grandma says they don't like gay people, so not allowed to eat Chick-fil-A. And then at some point, she was just kind of like, man, whatever, you can eat Chick-fil-A. I don't care. She's like, I don't care about any of this. That's not what she said. Matter of fact, I don't even care about any of this. You don't care. You can eat wherever you want. I don't care. No, it's stupid. My grandma's not going to think this is funny. She cared very, very deeply about people's ability to just exist as human beings. And she still cares very deeply about that. Matter of fact, Nick, I don't give a shit about any of this. This is not funny. She's not going to think this is funny. But Grandma, this is funny. I'm sorry. This isn't funny. So let me just move on to literally anything else. But since then, I'm pretty sure she's also said, like, don't eat, you shouldn't eat it, but like, whatever. Grandma, I don't remember where we're at with Chick-fil-A. The next time we talk on the phone, which should be in the next couple of weeks, we can talk about what foods I'm allowed to eat and what foods I'm not allowed to eat. I am a grown man, but I will still listen. I will still listen to and heed your advice on what establishments we are boycotting. Have I ever, I don't know. There is empirical data that would suggest that like financial boycotts are effective and they are a thing and they do work and they do influence change politically, socially. But I'm always just kind of like, yeah. Like if the thing that you're boycotting, I don't know. I don't even want to give these takes out because you know what? It is just kind of one of those things. I know I'm wrong. I'm stopping myself from saying what I'm thinking because of how it's going to make me. I know what it sounds like, and I hate it, but I don't. It's one of those things that I'm just like, yeah. Oh, Amazon, fuck. Oh, Amazon, and I throw a dart at a board. Whatever thing you want to be mad about. Yeah. But I need, thing X, an outlet cover, immediately. I need baby wipes, immediately. I need them today. Amazon. I'll have them in an hour. You know what I mean? And depending on what the thing is, yeah, I guess technically there are, use GoPuff or DoorDash or, it's one of those like adjacent services. Or you just use Amazon. There are some things that are so big. Well, you want me to boycott Apple? No. Then I'm not going to have an iPhone. Then I'm not going to have cool shit. I'm not going to have my AirPods. Which pair of AirPods do you want me to wear? I got all three of them. I got all of them. Name a pair that's come on. I got them. I have that. So, like, dude, I was watching soccer the other day. I had one game on the TV and one game on my iPad. Ever fucking heard of it, by the way? Okay, well, if I don't use Apple products, then I can't use that iPad. And then what? So what happens when I'm watching a game on my iPad and a game on my TV, but I'm using Apple TV because I'm watching MLS? So what then? I can't watch the game on my fucking iPad because I don't use Apple products, and now I also can't watch the fucking MLS? Because I can't use Apple TV because I have to boycott Apple products. Oh, okay. By the way, if I don't use these products, they will make billions of dollars, hand over fist, every fucking fiscal quarter until the sun explodes. So, I don't know. Apple I got a video recommended to me the other day. One of those instances where I read the headline, I read the title of the video, and then I looked at the thumbnail and I took in information. And it was like, here's why Apple is in trouble, rapidly losing creative design or whatever bullshit. And I was like, wow, that's a good point. And I just sort of made my own conclusions about what they might be talking about in there. And just was kind of like, that's a good video. That's a good video. I should talk about that. despite the fact that I don't know Tim Cook and his Racket. People sort of don't. Was it Sachin Gupta? What's that guy's name? Or that's the CAPTCHA thing. Sachin Gupta. He's the Google guy. What's that Google guy's name? Sachin Gupta. The more that I say his name, the more that it sounds like a final boss from Mario. Da 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 da. Sachin Gupta. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Should we ask Siri? So the Google guy. Flip a coin.
It's heads.
I don't know why I asked her to flip a coin. That's not what I was supposed to do. Who is the CEO of Google? Sachin Gupta. Oh my God, Siri. Hello, Siri? Can you hear me? Why am I talking to her like she's real? Siri, can I ask you a question?
Ask away.
Fuck.
Nicholas Henkel.
Whoa. No full governments. Who is the CEO of Google? Sachin Gupta.
Here's an answer from Business Connect Indian.
Sundar Pichai. Who the fuck is Sachin Gupta? Who the hell is Sachin Gupta? Who the fuck is that? Who the hell is that? Sachin Gupta. Oh, if this turns out to be even a crumb of racist, Sachin Gupta, I don't think I should keep saying it. I gotta figure out who it is. Is this a real guy? Or is this gonna be a fucking, like, the Hamburglar or something? This is gonna be something crazy. This is gonna be like the Blob from fucking, the one that Seth Rogen played in that monster movie. What was that called? Monsters? What was that movie called? Monsters Unleashed? What was it? Monsters vs. Aliens? Who the hell is Sachin Gupta? Is he like a... I don't even know. I don't know. Should I just keep saying it out loud? I'm just going to look it up. Or should I ask Siri? Because that went super fucking well. I can't believe I'm going to have to leave that in. I don't even want to... How much of a boomer did I end up sounding like? Who is Sachin Gupta?
Sachin Gupta is an Indian film producer, writer and director. He produces films under Chilsag Motion Pictures and is also an artistic director of Chilsag Chili's theatre company.
Who the fuck is this? Why would I know who the fuck this is? This isn't a real guy. What did he make something? This can't be the Sachin Gupta film career. None of this shit is real, bro. What is this? I'm gonna look up. This is such a dumb way to. I'm so sorry, guys. Sachin, because I'm just a little bummed that it was so anticlimactic. I would have rather have been like this be profoundly racist than just be like a complete dead, like, because then at least there would have been something funny going. I don't know. Oh, is this what I was looking for? Wait, he works at Chelsea? Sachin Gupta. He made stats. He's a stats guy. He's a stat boy. Yeah. He's went to MIT. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he made stats. I need to stop fucking saying that. That's what he did. I don't remember what he made, though. Gee whiz, folks. Gee whiz. I don't know where to go with this one, so I'll just do like Premier League Week 2. Do a quick recap of this. Tottenham killed City. Killed the citizens. Dead. Bizarre. Very funny. The last 13 matchups between Tottenham and City. 7 wins. 7 outright wins for Tottenham. Wow. It's just the most losses to a single club of any Pep team ever is to Tottenham. Is that the stat? Wow. Bizarre. It sucked. I just didn't have fun watching it. That Jed Spence. Holy woof. it was on his Instagram after the game. He like posted a picture of himself and he was like, "Send me your favorite winger." Oh, very cool. Very cool. Big fan of that. Very, very cool. I don't know. The United game was fun for the first like 15 minutes and then they stopped being good and had a really disappointing draw against, was it Fulham that they played? Really frustrating because the first like 10, 15 minutes. Harry Maguire, talk about a guy who tries really hard. Good for him. What else was there? In the last episode, I did a whole spiel about Gyökeres. Because I was like, oh, is this going to like take some time for him to integrate? Or should I just like shut up because it's week 1 and like he'll be fine? Yep. How about that one? Probably that. Probably the last one. The second one that you said. Do that instead. Murdered Leeds. Is it 5? Yep. Gyökeres had 2 of them. Yep. Second goal, brilliant. Looked dead into the camera and was, flipping his hair, fixing his hair. Great bit, great troll by him. In the previous game, everybody was making fun of him because he had more hair touches than he did actual touches of the ball. And so to score and then to taunt all those people, very funny. Very, very funny. Arsenal, 2 games, 6 points. Their first game against United they looked terrible. They looked terrible and still won the game. 1-0. Against Leeds, it was Leeds that they played, right? They looked as good as you could possibly hope that they would look against a team that is so much worse than them that a year from now they might be playing in a league below them. So, but they could not play as good as they did, and they could have just coasted, and they didn't. They didn't. 5 of them, thanks. So, Arsenal and Tottenham will be very funny this year after what's-his-face, Eze. 11th hour, going back to Arsenal. If you're a Tottenham fan, the cope there, it's not even really cope. It's just considering at the very 11th hour, he contacted Arsenal and was like, hey, are you sure there's no way I can be here? Okay, well, even if he ended up going to Tottenham, then you would have to live with the fact that he, so fair play. All for the best. Meant to work out this way. But yeah, that'll be fun. Arsenal, Tottenham, whenever that happens. Is that soon? I haven't looked at either of their schedules, so I have no idea if that's soon or we have to wait a while for that to happen. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Leicester, 3 points on the board. It's all I gave a shit about. All that I cared about. I mean, they're selling everybody. Everybody's gone. Everybody's leaving. Casey McAteer's gone. The fuck? Cannot believe that. Not upset about it. The truth is that the idea of him was always better than he actually was. Very, very good soldier while he was at the King Power. So, gonna miss him, but is what it is. I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait and see. Because El Canoes, the most recent update is he's not gone yet as I'm taping this, but he is 100% by the deadline. He's gonna be gone. 100% gonna be gone. Yeah, other than that, I don't care. That's 3 points on Saturday. So, Stolarczyk looked amazing in net. He's been pretty solid through the 3 games they've played this year. 3 league games they've played this year, at least 4 total. So, whatever. City didn't get any points, but Leicester got 3. 3 of them hoes. So, whatever. Alrighty, folks. Spotify, I don't know. This is such a short episode. There's nothing going on. I got nothing. I feel bad. I'm dancing like a damn monkey in this episode, dude. I'm rubbing my stomach with one hand and I'm patting my head with the other, trying not to rip farts the whole time. But it's what happens when you try to cover all the biggest stories from when you just invent angles. I don't know. Apple Podcast. What's up? What's up? If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, nice little comment for the algorithm. Make sure to keep primary control in check. And I will catch you guys in the next one.